Evelyn Ashwood's white moonlight had lost his memory in a car accident, his mind trapped in the year they had loved each other most. On our wedding day, he staggered into the venue covered in blood and shoved me off the altar. Evelyn Ashwood, didn't you swear you'd marry no one but me? Evelyn walked right past me, pulling her white moonlight into her arms. Hush, she murmured soothingly. I'll cancel the wedding. I'll only love you in this lifetime. She allowed him to humiliate me, then threw me out of our home. Yet when I vanished from this world, her eyes burned crimson with panic. Clutching my bleeding leg, I sat on the chaotic floor, trembling with pain. Evelyn ignored me, her face etched with tender concern as she comforted Vincent Thorne. Vincent, you're hurt. Let me get someone to take you to the hospital for a checkup. Okay. Vincent pointed a shaking finger at me, his voice thick with rage. I'm not going anywhere. You just want me gone so you can marry this man. Evelyn, you proposed to me days ago, vowed before everyone you'd marry no one else. I believed you. Why him? Evelyn turned to glance at me. No sympathy in her eyes, only inscrutable panic. Vincent's eyes were red with fury. If I hadn't come, you'd have become a family with him, wouldn't you? What about me? I gave up so much for you. You promised to stay with me forever. How could you do this? Not just Evelyn, everyone present, including myself, was stunned. Whispers swirled around us, debating who was the real homewrecker, Vincent or me. Suddenly, Vincent's eyes widened, his face contorted with malice as he charged at me. You pretty-faced thief. I'll kill you for stealing my woman. He grabbed me tightly. Escape was impossible. His fists pummeled my face before he pinned me down, tearing at my tuxedo. In desperation, I grabbed a vase and swung it towards his head. Just before it connected, Evelyn appeared, wrenching the weapon from my grasp and helping Vincent up. I straightened my clothes, hands shaking with fury. I pulled out my phone to call the police, but Evelyn snatched it away and smashed it against a pillar. Enough. Haven't you caused enough chaos? The world fell silent. I stared in disbelief at the woman before me. She shielded Vincent, the eyes I remembered as gentle pools now blazing with anger. Adrian Cole, I told you, Vincent means more to me than life itself. He's sick. It wasn't intentional. Must you really hold him accountable? I stared at her numbly, my heart shattered like the phone at my feet. I longed for her help, even if it was just standing beside me. Instead, she stood opposite me, protecting my tormentor and blaming me for being petty. Rage and humiliation churned inside me with no outlet. The surrounding voices pierced my ears like needles. Looks like that Cole guy's the homewrecker. Even Evelyn Ashwood doesn't care about him. Deserves to be beaten to death. Homewrecker. Death to his whole family. Exactly. Look, his family's already gone. Probably karma. Evelyn heard these words too, and her gaze towards me shifted. She was the only one who could prove who I was. Clutching at this final straw, I staked everything on my question. Evelyn Ashwood, tell them. Am I the third party? Silence descended again. All eyes awaited her verdict. Her intense gaze locked onto me. After a long moment, her lips finally parted. But a cry from behind her interrupted, and Vincent suddenly collapsed. Evelyn rushed forward, catching him. Vincent, what's wrong? Evelyn, you promised to marry me. You can't go back on it. This time, she didn't hesitate, her voice cold and resolute. The wedding is canceled. She called security to carry him away and left without a backward glance. Her words pierced the 5 years of love between us like needles, embedding themselves in my heart, drawing blood. I closed my eyes in despair, letting the accusations and scorn wash over me until Bernard, the driver, came to take me home. The house was empty. The nanny and butler had been called to the hospital by Evelyn to care for Vincent. I sat alone in the room all night. As dawn approached, Evelyn finally returned. What's wrong? Still upset about yesterday. She sat beside me as usual, reaching out to embrace me. I flinched away. Unfazed, she produced a watch from behind her, one I'd coveted for ages. Had people search every store in the city to find this one. Do you like it? I glanced sideways at it, accepted it with a bitter smile. So, is this compensation? She pressed her lips together, a flicker of guilt in her eyes. I'm sorry, darling. Sorry for what? I countered with a hollow laugh. Letting him beat me, smashing my phone, stopping me from calling the police, or tacitly implying I'm the homewrecker. I fought to keep my crumbling emotions in check, but my body trembled uncontrollably. Or is it that in your heart, I was always the third wheel? Were you secretly thrilled when Vincent showed up at the wedding? Her usually composed face twisted with anger at Vincent's name. She shot up, her expression dark. What the hell is wrong with you? This has nothing to do with Vincent. Stop dragging him into everything. He'd never be as cruel and unreasonable as you. I froze. In 5 years together, Evelyn had never spoken harshly to me. Even at her angriest, she'd restrain herself, calm down, and then come to soothe me. Yet this restraint vanished when it came to Vincent. A piece of my heart seemed to tear away. Love and resentment surged forth, leaving only numbness. Suppressing the lump in my throat, I asked quietly, Evelyn Ashwood, you know my parents died in a car crash. I have no family. You know our relationship was pure. Why couldn't you say a single word? Was uttering, he's not really so difficult. She finally snapped, yanking at her collar button in frustration. Why must you demand proof? I know you weren't the third party. Isn't that enough? Vincent's father died saving me. I promised to care for him for life. He was vulnerable in that situation. If I'd sided with you and provoked him, how could I face his father? He's sick. He doesn't remember we broke up. He doesn't remember who you are. Can't you be more tolerant? Can't you understand me, Adrian Cole? If I'd denied you were the other man in that setting, imagine the damage it would have done to Vincent. I always thought you were magnanimous. The disappointment in her eyes flooded towards me like a tidal wave, extinguishing my last shred of hope for her. She saw only Vincent, not me. She cared only that her white moonlight not bear the stigma, disregarding my survival. Evelyn Ashwood. My remaining words were cut off by her ringing phone. She frowned, listening. Then her expression shifted. Grabbing her coat, she headed out. At the door, she paused. Vincent and I are completely innocent. You're welcome to supervise at the hospital anytime. Her utter candor made me seem like the unreasonable madman. Rage boiled within me with no release. I snatched a pillow and hurled it at her retreating back, collapsing weakly onto the bed. Soon after, Bernard knocked. Mr. Cole, the car is ready. Ms. Ashwood asked me to take you to the hospital. I'm not going. Sir, please don't make this difficult. Ms. Ashwood's been in a foul mood since yesterday. If you don't come, I'll suffer for it. I took a deep breath, forced a bitter smile, and stood up. At the hospital room door, a pillow landed at my feet. I stepped over it and entered. Vincent stood barefoot on the windowsill, blood staining his wrists. His pale face bore tear tracks, his fragile appearance heartbreaking. Evelyn was frantic, but still coaxed him gently. Be good now, Vincent. Tell me what you want. Whatever it takes, I'll get it for you, okay? Vincent's lips trembled. He sobbed miserably. I don't want anything. I want you back. I want you to cut all ties with Adrian Cole. But you can't. You don't love me. A cold gust swept through the window, almost toppling the already precarious man. Evelyn rushed forward, but he stopped her. Don't come. I have no hope left. Let me go? Live your life well with Adrian Cole. Don't think of me. He took another half step back, half his body now outside the window. No, Evelyn screamed. Her tall frame bent, and she crashed heavily to her knees before him with a dull thud. Everyone in the room, including me, was stunned. I had never seen Evelyn so abject. She once told me that reaching her position meant she'd never bowed to anyone. Her dignity and status forbade it. Even when proposing to me, she hadn't knelt. I understood and respected that. Yet now, she willingly bent her spine, discarded her pride before everyone, prostrating herself like a dog begging for his mercy. After a long moment, Hunched over, she pleaded in a trembling voice, "Vincent, please. Don't do this. I love you. Love you so much I want to crush you into pieces and stuff you inside me so you can never escape. Why can't you see my heart? This agony you cause me." Adrian Cole was always just your substitute. I never loved her. If you go, I'll never know happiness again. Come back with me. If you want to leave, I'll go with you. After all, there's no one in this world more important than you. Everyone in the room wept, moved by their tragic love. Only Bernard noticed me in the corner. "Mr. Cole, shall I take you home?" I smiled bitterly. No need. Witnessing this, I thought my heart would shatter in agony, that I'd break down sobbing. But now, it felt like concrete had sealed my heart. Not a ripple stirred within. Vincent climbed down from the window, knelt before her, and tenderly touched her face. "Evelyn, marry me." "Yes." Evelyn pulled him into an embrace, holding him like a treasure more precious than life. "I will marry you. I will love you forever. Even if you regain your memory someday, I won't let you go. You belong by my side for life. No one will ever replace you." A rumble of thunder sounded outside. Cold wind howled down the corridor, seeping into my suit, chilling me to the bone. Suddenly, I remembered that night 5 years ago. Walking home from work, dizzy and distracted, I hadn't noticed the car speeding towards me. The next instant, a forceful shove sent me flying, and I saw Evelyn narrowly miss the vehicle as it roared past. She scrambled up, crying. Bewildered, I held her. Her voice shook. "Thank God you're okay. Thank God you're okay." Terrified out of my wits back then, I might have died without her. We'd only known each other a week, but that incident cemented my devotion for 5 years. Only now did I realize, perhaps I had never truly been in her heart. I left, utterly despondent. Arriving home, I found a moving van parked downstairs. Servants were loading my belongings. I grabbed one. "What's happening?" "Mr. Cole, Miss Ashwood ordered this. Your room has been cleared. For Mr. Thorne. She said she's arranged accommodation for you in the South City. You'll live there from now on." South City Manor, a place even she avoided. How painstakingly Evelyn worked for her white moonlight. I took a deep breath, intending to check for forgotten items. Immediately, 2 servants blocked me. "Mr. Cole, Miss Ashwood said you can't go up. She's afraid you might. Afraid I'd go crazy and wreck her lover's cozy nest." I smiled sardonically and left. Back at the old manor, it was 10 p.m. by the time I finished packing. Suddenly, Evelyn texted, "Come downstairs." I ignored her. She persisted, "If you don't come down, I'll flood your phone." With a resigned sigh, I went down. Opening the door, I saw her standing under a dim street lamp, holding a bouquet of roses, her gentle gaze fixed on me. Once, I couldn't resist this version of her. Now, my heart was placid water. I took the roses coldly and turned to leave. She suddenly seized my wrist with surprising strength. Evelyn always carried a comforting, clean scent. Now, it made me nauseous. I struggled to break free, but she pulled me into a tight embrace, her voice thick with exhaustion. "Don't move, Adrian. Let me hold you." "Evelyn Ashwood, if someone sees and tells Vincent, he'll cry for you again when you go back." She instantly let go, realizing her overreaction, then quickly apologized. "Adrian, I didn't mean it like that." I laughed at her. "You've said sorry many times today. Isn't it tiring?" She looked uncomfortable, silent for a long while before speaking slowly. "Adrian, haven't you always wanted to study architecture abroad? I contacted a renowned foreign professor for you. So, she was here to banish me. I booked you a flight. Day after tomorrow, early morning. Is that okay?" Her intense gaze bore into me. I could already picture her disappointment if I refused. "Fine. Day after tomorrow, early morning." She smiled, relieved. "I'll arrange everything." "Adrian, I don't mean anything else. It's just Vincent's unstable right now, and since you want to study anyway, so?" I cut her off. "I understand. No need to explain. I'll go." She hesitated, then got in her car. As the door opened, I saw the back seat filled with meticulously arranged red roses, unlike the bare, thorny bouquet I held. She watched me from the car. I turned and went upstairs, tossing the roses into the trash. My friend called then. Adrian, have you really decided? Your design talent can't go to waste. Our team is waiting for you. I glanced back at the woman who hadn't driven away yet. I've decided, I said calmly. Book me the earliest flight tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. By midnight, I'd packed what I needed. As I prepared to sleep, a pungent smell of smoke hit me. Pushing open the bedroom door, I saw flames engulfing the downstairs. My heart lurched. I rushed down to open the door, only to find it and the windows nailed shut. Someone had poured liquor on the floor. The fire raged fiercely, cutting off all escape. I retreated to the bedroom. Thick smoke snaked under the door, filling my throat and nose. Choking, gasping for air, I grabbed my phone and locked myself in the bathroom to call for help. But this was the suburbs. With the fire this intense, rescue was unlikely. Forcing myself to stay calm, I remembered Evelyn mentioning the manor had dedicated caretakers living nearby. Clinging to this last shred of hope, I called her. The phone rang endlessly. Finally, it connected. Evelyn Ashwood. The old manor's on fire. The doors and windows are nailed shut. I can't get out. Call the caretakers. Quick. I clutched my aching chest, struggling to breathe. The water's cut off too. I won't last long. A long silence. Then, a mocking laugh came through. Sorry, Mr. Cole, can't oblige. Evelyn's busy making me porridge. He turned on the camera. Evelyn stood in the kitchen, wearing an apron, stirring a pot. Evelyn, help me. I screamed with all my strength. She didn't react, didn't even turn her head. The phone lay nearby. Moments later, Vincent ran up behind Evelyn, embracing her. Evelyn turned, smiling, and kissed his jaw. After some intimacy, she finally remembered the call. Whose call was it? Vincent glanced towards the phone. The manor caretaker. Said the old place is on fire. They got the person out. It's fine. Mr. Cole's a big boy. He won't die that easily. Evelyn lovingly tapped his nose. I'm not concerned about him. Just asking. Vincent basked in her affection while turning to smirk challengingly at me through the phone. My heart turned to ice. I hung up. I shouldn't have hoped. Acrid smoke poured into my nose and throat. My skin blistered from the heat. I gasped like a fish stranded too long on dry land. Slowly, my consciousness faded. Crawling on hands and knees, I dragged myself to a slightly less unbearable spot, leaning against the wall. My eyelids grew unbearably heavy. Just before slipping into unconsciousness, I faintly heard a crashing sound downstairs. Evelyn canceled all work to take Vincent wedding suit shopping. Marrying him had been her lifelong dream, yet now that it was coming true, something felt hollow. As he emerged repeatedly in different suits asking, "Do I look good?" his handsomeness struck her like a mythical Apollo, yet every smile morphed into Adrian's face in her eyes. She tried desperately to purge Adrian from her mind, but the effort only etched him deeper. A phone call shattered her trance. Are you Adrian Cole's fiancé? Please come identify the remains. Her mind blanked. The phone clattered to the floor. Frozen on the sofa, she mechanically replayed those words. Vincent picked up her phone. What's wrong? She turned woodenly. You said Adrian was rescued. He stammered, avoiding her gaze. She snapped, seizing his shoulders, her eyes bloodshot. She screamed, Speak. Do you realize Adrian is dead? He could have lived. If I'd gotten there in time, if I'd answered that call, if I hadn't sent him to the old manor. She scrambled for any variable that could reverse the outcome, but cold clarity hit. Useless. Adrian was dead. By her hand. Her world imploded. Finally, she understood his place in her heart. When Vincent reached for her hand tearfully, she recoiled as if scalded. Don't touch me. His sobs grated on her nerves. She abandoned him, racing to the manor. The scene was cordoned off. Bernard handed her a cardboard box. The only thing salvaged from the fire. Mr. Cole's belongings. She took it, lightweight yet crushing. The watch on top, she'd seen it on Adrian's wrist just last night. Her mind detonated. Rigid, she whispered, "He really?" Bernard patted her shoulder. "My condolences." Grief overpowered her. She collapsed to her knees. The sky darkened. Rain fell instantly. Evelyn knelt on the cold ground, motionless. Rain and tears drenched her clothes. Yet she hunched protectively over the box. "Adrian, I'm sorry." She repeated it until her voice gave out, until night swallowed the day, until she sobbed herself unconscious. Meanwhile, I landed in France. Friends swarmed me with flowers and embraces, pulling me from the aftershock of survival. Last night, I'd thought rescue impossible, until the bathroom door splintered open. Not firefighters, Bernard. Wrapped in a wet blanket, he dragged me out, suffering severe burns on his back. I'd gone home, he explained, but overheard Vincent plotting to fake the fire to burn you alive. I hurried back. After brief hospital treatment, I asked him to conceal my survival. Understanding, he agreed, escorted me to the airport, then returned to complete the charade. 3 years later, I returned for a university friend's wedding. Ironically, the venue was the same hotel where Evelyn and I had planned ours. At the familiar entrance, memories flooded me. The staff recognized me, her gaze complicated. I smiled and entered. The wedding march played. As I searched for a seat, familiar faces filled the crowd. I glanced at the bridal couple on stage and froze. Evelyn and Vincent. The air solidified. I'd stumbled into their wedding. "My mistake," I said, turning to leave. A hand seized my wrist. "Adrian.is at you." A choked, trembling voice. I turned calmly. Time had carved her into someone colder, more distant, the once bold arrogance gone. At 30, silver streaked her temples. When our eyes met, her dull gaze suddenly softened, brightening. I withdrew my hand. "Happy wedding." She blocked my path, frantic. "Adrian, don't go. I need to talk. Where were you all these years?" "They said you died, but I never believed it. I never stopped searching." My eyes dropped to her bridal corsage. "No need to look. I'm living well. You seem fine too. Now excuse me, consider the wedding gift waived." "Wait." She dropped to her knees, voice frayed. "I know you faked your death to escape me. I'm sorry. After the fire, I realized the truth. It's always been you." Dead silence engulfed the hall. Evelyn's declaration echoed loudly. Everyone stared, incredulous, as the once unbending CO groveled before the man she'd branded a homewrecker. I felt no flutter, only absurdity. Her heart only recognized me in death. What if I'd lived? "I admit I wavered between you and Vincent," she pleaded, tears brimming. "But I see now, what I felt for him was guilt, not love. Give me a chance, Adrian. I swear I'll never abandon you again." Before I could respond, Vincent stormed over, straightening his suit. "Adrian Cole, you disgrace. You came today to sabotage us. Delusional. Must I schedule my return around your wedding?" My tone iced over as I stepped closer. "More importantly, are you scared to see me alive?" Panic flashed in his eyes. "Why would I? The fire 3 years ago. Does Evelyn know you hired men to nail the windows shut? To cut the water?" His face darkened. "Lies. You caused that fire." Evelyn rose. "Adrian.is this true? Do I look like I'm joking?" As Evelyn's suspicious gaze shifted to him, Vincent snapped. "You bastard." He swung at me, but someone grabbed his wrist midair. "Vincent Thorne," Bernard's voice cut through the chaos. "Explain this, or face the consequences." "I did nothing wrong. He set that fire himself." Vincent jutted his chin defiantly. "Where's your proof?" "Accusations without evidence are slander." The crowd erupted. We watched Vincent grow up. He'd never do this. It's Adrian framing him. Ms. Ashwood even confirmed he was the homewrecker. "Call the police. Sue him for defamation." Evelyn roared. "One more word, and you're banned for life." Adrian Cole was never the third party. "Spread lies, and I'll ruin you financially." The threat silenced the room. No one crossed the Ashwood empire. Vincent's eyes welled. "Evelyn, You defend him. Don't you trust me? If even you doubt me, I'll kill myself. He lunged toward a pillar. I have proof. Bernard stepped forward, playing a video on his phone. Vincent's voice after Evelyn leaves, sneak in through the backyard. Make the fire huge. Nail every window and door shut. I want him dead. On screen, Vincent's face was vicious, stripped of all gentleness. Gasps filled the hall. Guests pointed accusing fingers. You monster. How could you? Vincent ripped off his boutonniere, snarling at me. This is your fault. Why didn't you die in that fire? He charged, but Evelyn slapped him to the ground. You hit me. He wept. After what my father did for you. I've repaid that debt tenfold, she said icily. I clothed you, fed you, managed your family's business. But you tried to kill the man I love. I loved you once, Vincent, but never at his expense. Yet you chose me. He sneered. You knew I faked amnesia. You saw my medical records. You sent Adrian away from me. Her face paled. She signaled guards to pin him down, then locked her hands around his throat, knuckles white. I never chose you. You forced this. Do you know how I've hated you? Without you, Adrian and I would be married. You made him despise me. You lied saying he was safe. I thought I was the villain, but it was always you. As Vincent choked, guests tried intervening. Evelyn throttled harder. Within minutes, he went limp. Dead. Screams filled the hall. Murderer. The wedding dissolved into panic. Alone with Bernard and me, Evelyn released Vincent's corpse. She turned, her hollow eyes seeking mine. Adrian, can you forgive me now? She extended a bloodied hand, revealing a diamond ring. I kept this for 3 years. Today should have been ours. Let me put it. I stepped back. You're insane, Evelyn. You just killed a man. The fury drained from her. She crumpled, sobbing. He ruined us, tried to destroy you. How could I stay calm? I know you hate me, but I hate myself more. Tear-streaked, she looked up. Adrian, I regret everything. Give me a chance. Her gaze held the same fervor as when she'd vowed to marry Vincent. Calmly, I said, the moment you let them call me a homewrecker, there was no way back. The light in her eyes died. Police swarmed in. A taser struck her waist. She collapsed, her eyes never leaving mine. Any last words? An officer asked. Gasping, she lifted her head. Given another chance I'd never let go. After giving statements, I blocked the friend who'd lured me here under false pretenses. Months later, legal documents arrived. Evelyn had transferred all assets, stocks, properties, cars, to me from prison. Her sole request, see her once. I refused until her dozens of letters wore me down. Winter. A week of snow. In thin prison garb and shackles, she swallowed nervously as I entered. Adrian, everything I own is yours now. Use it as you. Thank you for donating to Hope Foundation. I cut informally. The children appreciate it. Rehabilitate well. Become a better person. She stiffened. You're welcome. I'll go now. Will you visit again? I looked at the blizzard outside. The snow's too heavy. Roads are blocked. But it'll melt. Evelyn Ashwood, I said softly, some endings are final. I came not to offer hope, but closure. After a long silence, she smiled. Understood. Relieved, I walked into the storm. Fresh snow covered my footprints behind me, burying our past as it buried every trace of my path. Ahead, untouched snow awaited. I would make new footprints. A new future.